Put your finger underneath it.
Log.
Say it again. You did it.
Log.
Log.
And he's gonna...
Well, we'll see. Let's turn the page. Hello, my name is Natalie, and I would like to speak a little bit about early reading and be an encouragement to the homeschool mother. And I just want to remind you that not to put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect in this area. It is not easy to be a homeschool mom. We have a lot of hats that we wear. We juggle a lot, schedules, children, cleanup, laundry, dishes, meal planning, all of the things. We are very, very, very busy women, and I think it's helpful, very encouraging to be around people who are like-minded and that can help you flourish in the role that God has you in. So when Jason and I first decided that homeschooling was going to be for us, this was before a time where communities had co-ops and encouragement through, maybe church functions and things like that. I knew no one that homeschooled, and so I felt very overwhelmed with resources and where I go and buy, the things I need to teach my children how to read and write. My confidence level was not there, so I really did struggle a lot in so many areas. So with almost 30 years under my belt as being a mom, I can't even believe I'm saying that. So I landed on Deuteronomy 6, and I have not wavered from that scripture, because when I was trying to decide, what we were going to do as a family of little people, and I thought, what direction is God giving us? We were such new Christians that the Bible really became my resource of just some answers. I needed answers and clear direction. And because I didn't have, the earthly homeschool relationships, I really was relying on God's direction in my life, which is great because that's where you want your answers to come from to begin with. So it really was a blessing looking back, which during the time I really didn't feel like it was a blessing, because I felt like all of the decisions were left to me on how to do this thing called homeschool, right? So anyway, Deuteronomy 6, 7 through 9 says, "Thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as forelets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates." So when I came across that scripture, it almost became such a relief and also a direction at the same time. I knew that God brought me to that scripture because it was confirmation for both Jason and I that we were the parents, and we had the freedom to make that decision to be home educators instead of resourcing my children out. Now, of course, this video is obviously for homeschoolers and not people who choose to send their children to public school or private school. And I want to make note too that my oldest started kindergarten in private school, and we have zero regrets on that, because it just gave us that full year of understanding, like, how is this going to work for our family? So that's where God had us at the time. And I really, again, my confidence level wasn't there. I knew public school wasn't for us, and so I picked a private school, based on, again, my confidence level. So that's where I was at the time, and I have no regrets, because it was a beautiful experience for that child and for me too. Anyway, that's the short of it. So I want to clarify that this is not a bash on public or private school at all. I just want to be maybe a resource and an encouragement to homeschool moms who really feel overwhelmed with just teaching their little ones how to read, just to get started. Because after I got started, I actually felt so much better. I'm like, I can really do this. This is not as hard as I was imagining or putting the amount of pressure on myself was really overwhelming. So a lot of it was me, a lot of it was outside influence doing that pressure. But I have learned, you know, healthy boundaries and stuff is, you know, you just got to be around like-minded people. It's just really helpful. So before I get too long-winded, I wanted to show you kind of where I start. And I start with flashcards. They're just really easy for the kids to look at. I'm not a big fan of like the pictures because I do think it trips them up. When they see pictures, they identify the turtle with the T instead of learning the sound first. But this is the resource I had at the time. And these are like 26 or so years old. It's crazy how long they've lasted through all my children. But I laminated them so they would last and just rubber band them. And sorry about the noise. My house is very noisy. I'm in the back room, but I apologize ahead of time. There's just no way, nothing is quiet in my house, and that's okay. I love it. So I go over all the vowels. Wow, that's loud. A, E, I, O, U, right? So A says A and A says ah, and that's how I start. We go to E. E says E and E says eh. And then we go to I. I says I and I says I. And we go to O. O says O and O says ah. And then U. U says U and U says ah. And so if I have to show them the picture, I will. But coming from your own mother's mouth and they're watching your eyes and watching your lips, they can emulate that same phonetic sound, and that's what you want. So then we go to, we'll just go to N here because that's the next one on there. They're all mixed up. They always play with them. N. N says N, nest. And then I make up other words like nice. And my name is Natalie, so I say Natalie. Just, you know, whatever N word that you can find. And we go through all of the consonants. So you teach them vowels and what that is, and you also teach them the consonants. And that is the beginning of how they start putting the words together, because they put the sounds and build the word from the sound. So I wanted to make mention also with the A. In the beginning, I do not teach them the schwa sound, because I think when 3, 4, 5-year-olds put that third sound into the A, so A says A says ah, and A says the schwa sound, so ah as in A-L-L, all. Sometimes it gets confusing, so I kind of leave the schwa sound out until a little bit later on in the reading. So flashcards. You don't have to have flashcards. You can make your own without pictures or with pictures, whatever, and go laminate them, put a rubber band on it, and every single day go over all the sounds. And once they have it, you're ready to go to the next step. I really enjoy, let's show you this real quick. I don't know if you can see that. The Christ, I call it CCC because it's easy. Christ-centered curriculum for phonics. And I don't do the whole program just because I feel like it's a lot, but that doesn't mean I don't love it. I really do. And so that is a good resource. And so their flashcards, I also laminate these, by the way, because they're expensive. You know, they have the I. And these actually, they put these in order for you, which is really nice. And so there's, I don't know if you can see that, but there is some writing on the back, and you can go over that and read those too. And that makes sense to them too. And it also puts some scripture with what you're doing. I also use the blueback speller, or the primer. I really, really love that. That is something that has become such a great resource in my home. And we just go over a page at a time in correlation with the flashcards. And the next thing I wanted to mention is I have a recording actually that I'm going to show you in a little bit of how I teach out of these. And these are just lovely. I mean, they go over just the simplicity of them is just beautiful, but they go over, you know, little things that they need to put together. Let's see, just real easy, beginner. And once they catch on, and I'll show you that later as she's reading, her little eyes will just light up because she's, you know, she figured it out, and she's just so excited because she said, I read the word. And so it's the cutest too. As a mom, you can just see their little wheels turning in their head when they get to the word. So here is book number 4. And this is from Abeka. Most, if you're a homeschooler, most homeschoolers know what Abeka is. So that comes in a set of 8. It's wise to keep them on these books and go slowly at their pace so they don't get overwhelmed. You don't want to be frustrated as a mom because you're trying to push them along. So you know your child better than anyone else. And so if you feel like they're exhausted or tired, just slow down and just do it tomorrow. You know, get a drink of water, go play outside, and then come back in and try again. And if they're not interested, they're probably not ready to read. But if they are showing interest in sounding out letters, they're interested in reading. And I would encourage you to go ahead and foster that. So here is the next set of books after those Abekas that are just little readers. And these are drill readers, and they are so easy and simple. And so mom reads the top like scripture, and we talk about it. And then you can have them read these words, and that's a gradual learning for them. That's not jumping too far ahead of what they've already learned from those. And the next ones are from Christian Liberty Press. I just bought these online from, I have no idea because it's been so long, but they go through book 1. I think there's 4 of them. There might be more now. I'm not really sure. But they kind of look like this. So there's their next step. That's kind of how I do that. That's just page 4. Okay, I'm not trying to bore you, but I'm trying to go through this really fast, or, you know, pretty thorough so you get kind of the picture. And also, I really like the McGuffey Readers. They're not like my favorite because I'm a person that reads books from like the Puritan time. That era, I really appreciate just their view on family and just their stance on being educating their own kids. So the McGuffeys came much later, but you know, Laura Ingalls learned out of this, and so it's not bad. It's just a lot of the Christian heritage that once was in the early readers and primers got taken out for the public schools, and then these got introduced. So anyway, they're still a good resource for your home. So I like those, and those are, I didn't show you, did I? I'm sorry. So this is, I think this is the second reader. So by the time they go to the first and the second, it kind of looks like that. And there's like, this says the idle boy reformed. And so sometimes if it's too much for them, you'll know. And so you don't move on to the next book until they're ready. And then also they have a bunch of words that are going to be introduced into this next chapter. So you just slowly go at their pace and enjoy it. It's such a sweet season. You know, it needs to be enjoyable for mom too, because if mom is not exuding joy during this process and her eyes aren't lighting up when your little ones, you know, maybe struggling with a word and then they figure it out, they want to see your excitement too. So enjoy the process right along with them. And if neither one of you are enjoying it, stop and just start over, you know, tomorrow or next week or next month, whenever you think they're ready. But I can't reiterate enough that if you read a lot to them, they will be interested at an earlier age to read and be very, very eager to learn. So next I'm going to show you how I walk her through the very beginning stages of reading. And I think that's important for new homeschool moms that have never done this before. You need to remember that God is with you through this all, and He is on your side, and He wants you to be a successful mother and a home educator and make it enjoyable for you and for your children. If you maybe have an example of what it looks like, maybe to walk them through it, I don't want you to repeat or copy or anything, because that's not my purpose in this video. I just want, sometimes it's helpful to see how someone does it, especially if you don't have a background in education or you've never, you know, had another homeschool mom that you've walked alongside to say, oh, okay, that's that's how it's done. I can do that. And sometimes when you just watch someone do something that you feel is hard or overwhelming, it normalizes it for you, and you go, oh, okay, well, now I can do that. You know, that's not as hard as maybe I was thinking it was. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. You're going to be fine.
Okay, go ahead and start reading the title.
Guess.
Yes. Good.
Duck.
That's right.
Has.
Very good. Put 2 words down there.
The.
That's right. We talked about this yesterday. So this is day 2 of learning the rules of phonics. And then some words do not follow the rules, do they? It's kind of confusing. But we're going to go ahead and just put that in our brain, store that away for information for later, and go ahead and finish your second book.
Good.
Yeah, I don't want you to look at me. I will stop you if I need to. Okay, you concentrate with your finger under each letter and sound it out.
Guess.
Are you looking at me or the paper?
You. Gus is a duck. Gus has a bill.
That's right. Okay, let me read it after you're done with the page. Gus is a duck. Gus has a bill.
Ew. He's a leaf. Gus got a
Gus got a
pot.
Don't look at me, look at the letters.
Gus got a pod.
Pod. Gus got a pod. Keep going.
Gus is a wet duck.
Gus.
There we go. It's blue in the back.
Day 2, book 2. I think you did an excellent job. You excited? All right. I think you're moving along, and I think you're doing very well. So let's keep up with the phonics and the blends and how we sound out the vowels and the consonants. And when they go together, they make words. And words make up all of the things that you're getting ready to read in big books like your siblings read. Chapter books, all those books on Mommy's shelf.
Galaxy Dinosaur.
And you're going to have lots and lots of reading ahead of you.
You've read several books the last couple of weeks, and you've really progressed well. So can you tell me, we're going to go over the vowel sounds. So can you tell me each sound as we go through our little, song that we do when you and Mommy do that? And this is really, so we're going to go ahead. That's right. You have 5 vowels, and sometimes the Y plays the vowel. So we're going to go over that really quick before we start any book reading, because it helps us have a refresh and remember what vowels to use. Okay? So a lot of times the vowels have 2 sounds. Sometimes they have more sounds than just two, like the A, but we can learn that later on. So A says A, and A says E says E, and E says That's right. So A, E,
I.
Okay, so let's do I. I says I, and I says
it.
That's right. So A, E, I.
O.
That's right. O says
O.
and O says
O.
Very good. So you do the long sound first and the short sound second. So A.
E. I. O. U.
Okay, let's do the U.
I. O. U.
U says U, and U says That's right. So A,
A.
I,
E.
Aw,
O.
Very, very good. You remember? Yeah, you're number 10. So she's my 10th reader. We've got one more reader to go. So we're going to go ahead and read book number 6. And we're just going to do the first couple of vowels because it is a really lengthy book, and I think sometimes our brain can handle so much information in a quick period of time, and so we're just going to do the first couple of vowels. But we have to read the title first, okay? And you can probably hear piano and things in the background. Hopefully you can hear us. So, yep.
P.
And because there's a silent E on the end,
That makes it
says its name. That's right. So this is a short and this is a long because of the silent E. Okay, you've got that down. Okay, so we have this little sign is a short A, and this sign is a because it says its name, so it's long. So the front page just looks like that. Okay, so A, short A is as an apple. A long A, a little line over the top, says its name, so it says acorn. A for apple, A for acorn. So right now we're learning 2 sounds for A's, right? You got that down. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to read these words based on the rules that we've learned so far in the first 6 books. So we've got a short A, but what kind of A is this? Because the silent E is on the end.
It's
Short or long? It says its
long.
name. That's right, it's long because the silent E is, don't say it, so it makes the A say its name. So let's start out with the first word.
At.
At. There's only one letter added, so
At the fair.
yeah. That's in a sentence. Good job.
Yep.
Could you read this word?
A. 8.
8. So it makes a long sound because it has a silent E.
Like you ate it, or ate the food, or just
I ate an apple.
like ate
Right.
the letter A? I mean, the
Nope.
letter A, or-
Nope, it's spelled different. It's okay. We'll learn that later. You don't have to worry about it. But this is like, I ate my supper. A-T-E. Okay. Practice this word. Short word has short vowels.
R.
Make your sounds.
Ran.
Right. He ran in the backyard.
Ran.
Yep. Okay. Next word. So do you remember what we learned yesterday? We have 2 vowels together.
One says its name and one is silent.
That's right. So the first one says its name, but the second one is silent.
You don't say it.
You don't say it. Okay. Well, you're quick.
Rain. A. Rain.
That's
Rain.
right. Rain. Yeah, it rained.
And the rain came down,
That's
down,
right.
and rushing the boy guts.
Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
So only one letter was added, but it made it a long sound because of the rules. So if we can remember the rules of phonics, we can read anything. Yeah. Okay. We're going to start with this word right here. That's a B-E-D.
I remember the right there. That's how I learned that on the page.
Okay.
Book and bed.
Nice.
I was in the bed this one.
That's right. Okay, so what's the rule right here with two vowels to put together? The first one says
It's
it's
snake.
and the second one is that's
Don't
right.
say it.
You don't say it. Okay. B.
B. E. D. Bead.
Bead. Like a
Bed
bead. Yep, bed
Like
and
a-
bead.
Like a little necklace bead or
Yeah.
a bracelet bead.
That's right.
You know.
That's right. It's a bad bead. Excuse me. Okay, short word, short vowel.
Mm. E. Me.
Okay, short word, short vowel. Short E says E.
Eh.
That's right. Eh. So short E says eh.
Mm. It. Net or mat?
Well, that's an ah. Met.
Net.
I met this little girl and she's a good reader. All right. So what's the rule with the two vowels again? The first one says,
It's me.
and the second one is,
Don't say it.
don't say it. Okay. Excuse me. We're not reading pictures, we're reading words. So if I looked at the picture and just assumed it was a sunflower and I, said sunflower or a bee or a pig, I still wouldn't know how to read, I wouldn't know how to spell, and I wouldn't know how to sound out the letters.
Nope.
So pictures are not necessary, and you'll see that when
And
you
that's why
take.
you have mommies.
And when you, that's right, because if you didn't have anybody teaching you, that'd be sad.
You wouldn't know how to read or
No.
do anything.
Did you know that my
I
grand? Right. Did you? Yeah, because you have to read recipes.
No.
Did you know that my grandfather did not know how to read very well? He barely could read. I'm not even sure that he knew the sounds of the letters.
So he couldn't read to you a book?
No, I don't even think that he even opened the book. He had me sign things and fill out checks or his little receipts. He would kind of scribble his name on there to sign it, but he would have my grandmother do a lot of that work. And at the end of his life, I found out why. It's because he couldn't read. Yeah. So I don't know how he got through school without someone helping him how to read, but I think it's very sad.
Maybe.
He might just had a hard time learning, and then nobody stepped up to the plate and said, "Well, I'll do it. I'll teach him." I think everybody just said, "Oh well," but we really don't
That's
know what
sad.
happened. I think it is sad. So I'm very grateful that you have a joyful attitude because I get to be with you all day and we get to learn together. Okay, it's been a couple weeks since we did the last video on how we learned phonetics and putting blends together and digraphs, and you have progressed beautifully. So we always first, just as a review, we always first do our flashcards, then we go to phonics like blends and digraphs, and then we go to small little readers, and then we do these little practice Phonics Readers, which has really been a fun process for all of you. This has been in our family with all of our kids. So you are the 10th that get to read this book. So can you show everybody how much you've progressed just in the 2 weeks since you've been learning? Can you tell me what the title of that is?
6 kids.
Yes. Can you go ahead and start reading it for us?
Sure. 6 kids pin on
Okay.
bibs.
Yep. Go ahead and read the whole sentence.
6 kids put on bibs. The Vic equals fills the pan.
Good.
Is Liz and Jill mix. The kids split it the 6 kids did it. The 6 kids did it for Dad.
Good job. We're going to go over which comes first, second, and third. Liz fits the pans in. The 6 kids did it for Dad. Vic fills the pan. Which came first?
Vic fills the pan. Liz
Fits the pans in.
And then the 6 kids did it for Dad.
Yes, good job. So it's really important that you not only read the book, but you understand what the story is telling you, right? So that's why we do this. And some books don't have questions, but Mommy might have questions at the end of the book after you get done reading it. So go ahead and read those sight words.
The A for on.
That's right. You did a wonderful job. I am so proud of you. Go ahead. What's the title of this book?
Gus.
Yes. Okay, we had to move your microphone a little bit because it was all stuffy sounding. Okay, you go ahead.
Gus is a bug. Gus as fuzz.
That's right. Okay, Gus is a bug.
Gus has fuzz.
That's right.
Is it a bug that has fuzz? Gus runs and runs and runs. It's a fun mud. Gus has fun in the mud. Gus has fun in the mud.
Gus has fun in the mud.
Mud.
Who is Gus? That's him.
Gus nips a bud. Gus nips a bud. Yum, yum.
Very good.
Gus rubs his fuzz. Gus rubs and rubs.
Okay, hold on. What do you notice about those two pictures? What's going on here on this page compared to this page?
This is spring, this is fall.
Yeah, or summer and fall. I don't know which one.
I don't know.
But he's getting older, right? And he's getting bigger. So fall is here.
And he's gonna...
Well, we'll see. Let's turn the page.
I can hear all the vegetables and stuff. Gus as a nap. Gus naps and naps.
Very good. Okay, so it's important to understand the story. So we're going to do reading comprehension, right? So Gus has no fuzz. Gus has fuzz. Gus has a nap. Which comes first? He has no fuzz.
He has no fuzz.
He has fuzz, or he has a nap. Which comes first?
He has fuzz.
That's correct. Then what happens?
He has he takes a nap.
Go ahead. It's okay. Be confident. He takes a nap, and then what happens next?
Then Gus has no fuzz.
He has no fuzz because
he turned into a butterfly.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So now that you understand the story, let's go ahead and read those words at the bottom. Sight words.
No on the A4.
Very good. You are really getting quick at this. And before you know it, you're going to end up in chapter books really soon. You excited?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being willing to share with other people your reading journey. And I'm glad that you were so confident and willing to just be vulnerable and let people see the progression of reading. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that was an encouragement to you. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave those below. I'd love to help you on your journey, but I don't want you to forget that everybody's journey is different. I hope that what I present is not for comparison, but for an encouragement or maybe as an example to what you can do in your own home. So with that said, I hope you have a blessed day.